Thank you for coming back. And today I'd like to talk to you about another flashlight. Yeah, I know I've been doing a lot of lights lately, but hey, why not? And it's this one right here. This is the Warsun DC08 flashlight. Now, inside the box, you do get a charging cable, USB-A to USB Type-C. You get this little fold-out sheet to tell you a little bit more about it. Oops. Gives you a little bit of instructions, and of course the box looks just like that. Now, the flashlight itself is pretty small, and as you can tell right off the bat, you have some LEDs here. Here's the power button. This is an LED display. Tell you about the battery life. You got some LEDs here, which are cobs. I guess that's circuit on board. On the back, you got a nice little clip to put it on your belt or wherever. You got two magnets. And right here underneath this flap is how you're going to charge it right there. And of course a USB Type A port, so you can possibly use it as an emergency thing to charge up a device or something of that nature. The head does swivel. I kind of like that little idea that it swivels, because that way maybe you can wear it on your shirt and work on something, or set it down. You can turn it upside down if you want to put it up, use the magnets on something metal, or you can twist it downwards. Nice little versatile thing. And when you turn it on, there's your battery indicator light, and of course there's the lights. There's a couple different modes. And then to get to this one, you turn the light on, press and hold. Then this light comes on, and then if you press it again, one single red LED, one single blue LED, and if I press it again, it's going to flash between the red and blue. So if you're sensitive to flashing lights, fast forward it or something, because here we go. Press it one more time, it comes off. And then of course it goes back to regular flashlight. And no, there is no press and hold to shut it off. You got to basically cycle through all of the modes in order to shut it off. Now, this flashlight has a 1200 milliamp hour battery in it, and they say that it takes, 2 hours to charge it up. Yeah, yes and no. There's a total of 7 modes of lighting: high, medium, strobe, the side light, the red, then the blue, and then the red-blue flashing. If you add all those up, it's 7 different modes. This is an plastic body. It's ABS plastic, but the clip is a metal clip. Like I said, it's magnetic bottom. You got 2 magnets, but they're okay. I wish they were a little bit stronger, but it'll get the job done. The beam pattern from this light, and of course this light, is a floodlight. So there's no little spotlight and you can't focus it in. So it's just basically a floodlight type flashlight. They say 12-hour runtime or 4 to 12-hour runtime. We'll get on that later on. It is IPX4 water resistant. The lumen rate, the only lumen rating I really got is 800 lumens for the floodlight. Nothing else on then that's on high. The medium didn't say, the strobe didn't say, this one it didn't say, so I'm not sure what those lumen ratings are, but they are pretty decently bright. It's not going to light up your whole backyard or something, but it's definitely good enough. Now, I'll get into the run times and everything else when I come back to give you my final thoughts. Oh, by the way, there is a little piece of protective film on here. That's what you see this little scratch for. I didn't want to take it off and screw it up, so I left the protective coating on there. Okay, so let me stop yakking right now, and we'll get you to the test video. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed the test video. Now, let me tell you, before I get into if I recommend this or not, let me tell you the runtimes I experienced using this light. During my testing on high, it ran for 3 hours and 9 minutes. Now I just turned it on and waited for it to shut off, okay? On the medium, 5 hours and 3 minutes. The side light was 4 hours and 15 minutes. Now, I didn't test the strobe or the single red or the single blue LED or the flashing red and blue LEDs because I don't know, I just don't see people really using the strobe or the red, blue, or the flashing red and blue lights as much. Now, for the 12-hour runtime, I would imagine it would have to be the red LED because blue LEDs use a lot more power than red. So I would imagine you using the red and or blue LED is where you're going to really get up to that 12-hour runtime. Okay. Let me see. Now, the charging time, they said 2 hours. Well, that does depend upon how far the battery is drained. Like I said, most people won't probably use the light until the battery shuts off because it's just too low. So yeah, you'll probably get to 2 hours. Now, during my testing, when I just let it sit there and run all the way down, it took about 3 hours to charge the battery up. And it also does depend upon the type of charger that you're using. If you're using an old legacy type charger, like a 5 volt, half an amp to 1 amp to 2, it's probably going to take a little longer. I did notice though that you can use a faster type charger. I used a 30 watt charger on this thing and it did quite fine. So you don't have to try to find a low wattage charger with this. You can probably use a higher wattage or a higher powered charger. I didn't use like a 65 or 100 watt or anything like that. I just used a 30 watt charger to recharge this thing. And it still took anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to charge this thing up regardless. So I think there's circuitry in there that kind of prevents overcharging type of a thing, okay? Even though I didn't read anything about that anywhere, if it has overcharge protection or anything like that. Now the main lights are 25 watt LEDs or 2.5 watt LEDs. The side light is a 4 watt LED, or no, I'm sorry, it is a 25 watt. And these are 4 watt LEDs in here. The main lights are LEDs are cobs. That's all I got the information for. The side light here is 6 SMDs, LEDs. The red and blue is 1 SMD each. So, what do I think of this flashlight? It's not bad. I like the idea that you could swivel it, how nice and square it is, so you can set it down any way you kind of like really want to, and you can swivel the head, and you can kind of get it into any angle you want. It has decent enough runtime. I mean, on high, 3 hours is pretty darn good. So that's not bad at all. And, I mean, even the side light here, that nice warm color at 4 hours is pretty good as well. Now, them using ABS plastic, I can understand that they're trying to do it for a price point. But the one thing with using the ABS, I wish they would have used like at least metal, like in this part of the swivel and this part on the body, because it probably would have been a little bit tighter. Because if you're trying to do it sometimes with one finger or one hand, sometimes this thing moves on you and, it kind of starts swiveling. So that's really the only negative I can think of, is that this is a tiny bit too loose for my liking. But there's more on that in just a moment. I don't think really you're going to be using this as a power bank unless it's like in a total emergency and, charge your phone up just enough maybe to get a call out to 911 or something like that. That's about all I can imagine, because, I mean, it is only a 1200 milliamp hour battery. That's not going to really charge a phone up that much, if anything. So you might get like a 1% charge out of it, which is, in an emergency, is probably going to be good enough. Now, I do like this light, so much so I bought a second one. Oops, see, 2. And what I did notice is the second one I bought, the swivel is a lot tighter than this one. So that's what I mean by I wish in this part here, you could kind of, I don't know if you can really see it, but you could tell that there's a plate here that they just tacked onto the body of the top of the head. And you could, same thing for the body of the flashlight. If they would have probably put metal in there, they could have probably had it a little bit more tighter, so it's a little bit harder to turn. Yeah, I get it that, with one hand, it's real easy to do, and that's probably what they were trying to do. So, like, if it's one-handed, it's real easy, it's not cumbersome, and it's quick. That's a great idea. But, like I said, it's kind of inconsistent. This is really loose. This one is a lot tighter. There's a lot more resistance in it. That's the problem with using ABS type plastics. You're not always going to be consistent with it, okay? So, is the Warsun DC08 worth getting? Well, yeah. It has a lot of good uses for it, not just in an emergency, but like I said, with the swivel head and the magnetic body, you can, or magnets on the bottom, yeah, you can use it to repair a car. You keep it in your glove box in case you need to change a tire, because you got this, not only just this light, but you got that light if you wanted to as well. I wish there was a mode where if you had it switched down like this light and this light would have went on at the same time. That would have been awesome, but it doesn't do that. So yeah, it is a nice, versatile little light to have. It's great for everyday carry. It does take up a little bit more room than some other flashlights, but it's not a bad everyday carry. It's great if you're a prepper. Like I said, great thing to have in your glove box. And like I keep saying, it's better to have some kind of light than no light at all in an emergency situation, like a power outage, some kind of a blackout, whatever. It's always good to have some kind of a flashlight around. Not just a rechargeable flashlight. You should always get a light that uses regular batteries as well. Because if there's an actual power outage, once this goes, if you don't have solar panels and all that good stuff, you're kind of out of luck. If you have regular batteries, powered flashlights, you could probably go to a store, stock up on them, and you'll have a little bit, more light to go with. So, in closing, the Warsun DC08 flashlight is definitely worth getting. And if you happen to like this video, please give it that thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and do not forget about that notification bell. It would really help me out a lot if you were to share this video and maybe a few more of my others on all of your social media. And until the next video, you, your friends, your family, and yes, even all of your pets, you all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.